गुड इवनिंग लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन। आप सभी को 10 न्यूज के दर्शकों को मेरा नमस्कार। माय नेम इज दीपाली नरूला and I welcome all of you to my session of Sharp Conversation today, season 2, episode 3. एक मेरी quick introduction. I'm a marketing and events and hospitality professional. Now I'm also a life coach with expertise in self-growth and relationship of couples, a speaker, a trainer, and a cultural impresario. So today I'm very happy to bring on board a very graceful, very charming, and ever so youthful personality who has been a pioneer in the beauty and wellness industry in India. And when one thinks of the evolution of beauty in our country, her name certainly cannot be ignored. She is India's leading aromatherapist, a double doctorate with an experience of 35 years, globally recognized for her work, and as the first manufacturer of aromatherapy beauty products in India, she stands unmatched in this segment for the last 25 years and more. A name which is synonymous with the world of beauty, skin, hair care, the essential singular oils, exclusive blends, and with a range of about more than 200 products. She is a person who's been awarded with many accolades, not only in India, but also internationally. She's an educationist, she's an author, she's a very successful entrepreneur. And she has her hands obviously in many pies. But of course, the common element amongst all of them is wellness. She's also the chairperson of Blossom Kochhar group of companies. Exceptionally gracious personality, very loving, very warm, and very popular. Dr. Blossom Kochhar. She's also known as the diva of the wellness and the beauty industry. A warm welcome to you, Blossom. What a pleasure to have you on my show today. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation.
It's such a pleasure, Deepali. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be on the show today. Thank you. It's really
Thank you so much for taking out time. I remember those lovely afternoons that we used to have in my venue at the F Bar Ashoka when years ago apprised us so beautifully about your expertise in aromatherapy. And I'm sure you're going to do the same today. Give us some great insights.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was wonderful being there, and it's wonderful being here with you also now and with all of you. It's really wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
So without taking too much time, I'm going to get straight into asking you some questions, and I'm looking forward to having some wonderful understandings on your subject. A lot of people have been getting in touch with me and saying, "Oh my God, we need to know from Blossom about the skin. We need to know from Blossom about XYZ." So I hope it's going to be extremely useful. I'm sure it will be.
I hope so. Yeah.
So, Blossom, to start with, just a quick understanding about your formative years. I want to know that, how did this innate desire of being, in sync with the beauty and hair and skin came about when you were very young? Was it about the feel good and the look good factor that made you passionate about it? And when you took on to this line of profession in all seriousness, did you also face any sort of a resistance from home?
Yeah. Now, when this thing started very early for me. In fact, when I was first in school and then in college, and because like in school, like I was saying, when they wanted me to do the nun, I was in a boarding in Nazareth convent, and the nun said, anybody knows how to cut hair? And there I put up my hand, not knowing a thing. But then I said, oh, I had seen them cut hair. So then they gave me this big cloth scissors. And of course, the first thing was drastic. I cut it like this. But later we put the comb and then got a straight cut. And I found the girl looked so good with that. So then I said, oh, it is wonderful. And after that, of course, the skincare and the thing, this main thing was I used to find that it was so rewarding and so beautiful to see people carrying your hairstyle. It was like a work of art in motion, you know, people
Yes.
carrying your hairstyle, people carrying your makeup or your skincare. And, you know, it was really very, very rewarding. I loved it. And it was from there that I started. I said, oh, I have to be. But of course, when I finished my college, and I told my parents when they asked me, I'll never forget that day, what do you want to be? I want to go and be a hairdresser. Beauty. They hit the ceiling. They couldn't
Sure.
believe it at that time. That, you know, after, and she said, after a college degree and that, and girls don't do that. They go and they become, teachers, and they do some other kind of a home science or other things. No, you cannot. I said, okay, then I couldn't do it, because at that time, you know, when we were growing up, parents, what they said was, you know, a law. So, of course, then I got married, and I got married to my husband. He was in the army, and we shifted to Wellington. And he knew this hobby and this thing that I liked, and we shifted to Wellington because he was doing a staff college there. And that is how he said they offered a little room in the club, Wellington Club in Wellington, Gymkhana Club. And he came and said, would you like to? I said, of course I'd take it, because it was something fantastic. I wanted to
Sure.
do it. So it was
Sure.
just, I started just as a hobby, you know, cutting everyone's. In fact, like my husband used to say, he drinks more than I make at that club, he says, because he has to go and sit and wait for me. So that is how it really started. But this is a passion I had right from the time I was, you know, growing up, in fact, from a little kid. That's what I did. So that
How
is
nice.
how this whole thing started. Yeah.
So from your formative years, the passion grew, but it was genuinely supported wholeheartedly by your husband,
Oh,
really.
yes, he genuinely supported it. And then from there, we moved to Delhi. And in Delhi, you know, there I found, and it was by luck, I found another lady who had a place, and she wanted somebody to join us. So I said, okay, let's do it. And that's how we started this little place in Greater Kailash called Blossom Beauty Corner. And from there, it grew and it went on into, you know, much bigger things. And it was there that I discovered, in this salon first, that, you know, hair was something that in India they did not really know how to do. There was no education for hair, and it was just, if you either you knew to cut or not. So then we brought down pivot point. That was another thing. And of course, that was really wonderful and educated so many. I'm so happy and proud of all the
Yes.
people. And
Yes.
that was really something else. And from there,
Interesting.
of course, while I was educating, then we started with our cosmetics, because what happened is, when I was doing these things, you know, you had to do, we do a facial, but you can't just do it with a normal cream. There had to be special. So I'll never forget, I used to make these lovely little creams for each person, and then to put the aroma in it, the what perfume. Again, I went and got these essential oils which were available in the Nilgiris. And you know, Nilgiris are famous for essential oils. So I used to put them. And they used to say, what a lovely smell. And it was wonderful. And what happened and really started getting me into the aromatherapy was, they said, you know, it's not only made me look good, but see, my cold has gone. Oh, I sleep better. So I said, oh, this has to go through. And there in the Wellington again, I met this old man who was an Ayurveda, very old. And he is the one who got me into this, because aromatherapy is really part of the Vedas. And you'll find it in the Rasayana Tantra, the Veda of rejuvenation, where they used to
Ancient
use it.
times.
Yeah,
Yes.
ancient. And he is the one that really got me into this whole thing. And that is how I started off again with aromatherapy, but making these little things for each person. That's how I started this.
So, Blossom, before we go on to the main topic of the day, when I'm going to be asking you about your holistic beauty with
Okay,
aromatherapy,
okay,
I
okay.
want to quickly touch upon your association with Pivot Point. because you were one of those who had an association with Pivot Point USA. You brought them here. Pivot Point created such a flutter when you started it here.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
was really the objective? And with that, you also became an educator, like you rightly said. And you had a lot of people, thousands of people who were the ones who were aspiring to become salon professionals year after year, being trained by you. You've had some very, very popular names to
yeah, yes,
as your
yes.
proteges. So talk a little about Pivot Point and what it did when you
Okay.
know get your
Now,
association with it.
Pivot Point was, of course, it was in America, and I went there, and I wanted America really. I wanted Pivot Point to come to India because, like I said, we needed this education. And then the founder of Pivot Point, Mr. Leo Passage, he came and visited India, and he saw the that potential of Pivot Point in India. But what I had to do was I had to tailor that course for the Indian public, because there you have a course for 1 year, and nobody in India wanted to study hair for 1 year and then start working. So we gave it to them in little bits of thing, like the basic and then the advanced, and then it went on to a master's, that sort of a thing. And we gave them this. And of course, Pivot Point is one thing that I'd like to say is that we never used to say you cut hair, we used to say you sculpt hair. You had to do sculpting of hair. And the other thing was design. There was no hairstyle, it was hair design. And it had given it it made it into something glamorous, made it into something that people wanted to aspire to. And that is how we went about with Pivot Point, and where there was perming, and there was the coloring, and there was the whole lot of it. And they had to come in and finish the whole thing. And what happened was, when they did this course, they went out, because it was really a blend. Like, what is hair? It is more practical and less theory. And what used to happen was more theory and less. So by the time they left, they were able to cut hair, color hair, and really go about it. And I must say, I'm so very proud of my students who have done so very well. And they are really rocking it, I must say. I am really proud of them. And Pivot
Name
Point was
them.
something. I named them:
Yes,
Sylvie, Ambika, Melroy, Najeeb, Vidya
one
Tikari. I mean, you name it, and we have the names. It is
one
something that is so amazing. We have so many, and they are doing so very, very well. I am so very happy about that, really.
Blossom. Now coming to the main topic of the evening,
Yeah,
uh, the holistic beauty with aromatherapy.
yeah.
Share your insights on it. And when was it really that you realized the therapeutic power of aromatherapy in your life? And when did you really have your first tryst with the magic of essential oils? You just touched briefly that this was somewhere in Bangalore that you met
In the
somebody.
yeah.
How your journey started. So please
Okay.
talk about it and throw some light on the subject.
Okay, now aromatherapy. Now, one thing is that I always believed right from the beginning was that beauty is not just a painted face or beauty with this hair. It has to be your body, mind, and your emotions, which really everything go together. Because if you don't feel good, you don't look good. And if you are worried, you have any problem, you have maybe a stomach problem, or you have maybe diabetes, or whatever it is, your hair is going to not look good, your skin is going to get. So just by applying things on the external part of your face, just there, I found it's just not going to help. And you take it off again, you're going to be the same. So what happened is, when I went to the Nilgiris, and I'd started this little place over there, like I said, I used to make these oils these creams for my clients. And I found that, it could really make them, they'll be depressed, and if they smell, they'll feel good. Or, they'll have a cold. But the way I had really come across the essential oils much before that, when I was in Nazareth Convent in the boarding, when We had to go for exams. You'll find the nuns will just crush this lemon verbena in their hands and just put it under our pillow so that when we smell it, we used to feel good and not feel anxiety or anything else. The other thing is when we had a cold, they would give us eucalyptus. There was no such thing as medicine in the morning. So we used to use that, you know. So from there it went. And when I had to start the creams, I used these oils. And this is how it really worked and helped them. So it not only helped their skin, but it also helped whatever problems they had. It also helped their worries, their tensions, because aromatherapy, after that, of course, then I went in and then studied and did my two PhDs in it. Now, aromatherapy is something that it works in three different ways. It works for your beauty, like for your lines and wrinkles and hair and other things, and then it works for any stress related ailment, like for example, if you have any hormonal problem, if you have any pains and aches and that sort of thing. And it also works for any problems like if you have depression, stress, you have you're hyper. So it works, and it works very simply through the sense of smell. And the other, of course, the molecule is so fine, it goes into the skin. So that is how it really works. So these oils, when they were used in our, so then I had to make a cream that would go with it, because if we use any mineral oil with it, it just stays on. Any petroleum product, no. It has to have pure vegetable oils. It has to have vegetable waxes, vegetable. So way before that thing came in FDA, that no parabens, no this, we had to use it. And that's how I found, by creating these cosmetics. I mean, there were times when I had to throw out tons of cosmetic which I'd made, because just by putting in one chemical, the whole thing would curdle, you know. So this is the thing, it works. So we had to do this whole thing, and that is how the whole thing came together, that we use these oils, we use the creams, and so went into the skincare range, creams for this and that. Now, another thing is, people would say, how is that this is for dry skin and oily skin? So there was a beautiful, really a lovely holistic thing to that, and I'd love to say, this is, if you have a if you have a dry skin, when you come to, I will say, oh, you, that means there's a lot of stress in your life, you are running against time, you're, you know, this. Now what happens, how did we know that? The adrenal glands are working hard. So what happens is, when you are very stressed out, you will find you run to the loo either too much, or your skin gets very, very dry, your tongue gets dry. So if you're using like oils like neroli, orange blossom, what does it do? When you smell it, it goes, the message is sent from there to the adrenal glands, relax, don't worry. So that is how. Then we use lavender, we use sandalwood. All these oils are very, very relaxing. So these oils were used in that range of cosmetic, which was for dry skin. Now, when it was an oily skin, that means they were too worried. They were eating anything they want, worried anything. So this is where we had to go in for oils like lemon, like juniper berry, you know, very more astringent oils. So that would help to calm. And then if they have a combination skin, which most people have, which means they are not assimilating their food. So what happens is, they have this anger. They're so angry with people, but they can't, you know, go and fight or do anything. So they take it all in, and that will not assimilate. So you'll get this skin. So we have to give them an oil that helps to, you know, calm them out, balance them out. So this is how the range of product had come through, with us analyzing the skin, the body, the hair, the holistic person. In fact, the whole thing had to go together. So this is how we went through with the whole stuff. It was really a lot of fun, wonderful, and, you know, it has really helped. And like I say, yeah, hi. I can't hear. Here. I can't hear. One moment.
Yes, just to be very
Yeah, yeah.
specific. If you can give us some, particularly because people are dealing with so much of stress and depression, there is also a very common phenomena that we see when people, lack confidence, then some sort of increase in the sense of desirability, clarity of mind. So if you can give us, specific names of the oils that can be used for these aspects that I've just spoken about.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's talk about it. Now, if a person is very stressed, a
Yes.
person has a lot of stress and they can't sleep, the best oil for that is lavender. An oil called lavender. Take that, rub a little here in the center of your palm, the center of this, okay? Rub it on your solar plexus and a little on your ears, and you will find you're going to sleep like a baby. Try it.
Oh,
And it's better than a sleeping pill. Honestly, it's a wonderful oil. Another way you can use these oils, of course, you can use it in a diffuser also in your bedroom. Put a diffuser when you're wanting to sleep, or use it in your bath water. You can use it in your bath water, in your diffuser. You can use it for a little massage mixed with oil. But all these oils, don't use them alone because they're very potent. Always mix them with a vegetable oil, or you can mix them with water, for diffusers, or put them in the thing. So the first is for stress. Next is anxiety. I find now with COVID thing happening, and there's so much of anxiety happening. What is going to happen? What is the thing? So for anxiety, and the anxiety I found brings on anger also. People get upset, they get angry because they're so worried. So what do?
yes,
Is we use neroli. Neroli is orange blossom. It's a wonderful oil called neroli. Now you can use that, put it in your potpourri, mix it up and put it around wherever you are. Or whenever you feel anxiety, put a drop in your hand, do it like this, and take 3 deep breaths. And then again, 3 deep breaths. And you're going to find that that is really going to calm you and make you feel so much better. You're going to really feel better. And you can do this many times during the day. Take a few
all right.
breaks. Maybe you're working, maybe you're doing something. Take a break. Put this, take a few deep breaths, walk around, come back again. You're going to find it's going to really help you. So this is there. The next thing that's hitting so many people is depression, which is really something, depression. And depression, the oil that is the most fantastic, and you get the flowers also at this time, jasmine. Now,
Jasmine.
you can take a jasmine oil, or you can take jasmine off the tree, crush it like this, and just smell it. What's going to happen is straight away it helps depression. You will find you straight away it's going to lift your depression. Unless, of course, it's clinical, then I suggest go and see a doctor. But
Sure.
otherwise, it's definitely going to help. Now, this jasmine is used in weddings also, because you will find they do feel a little worried and sad. So jasmine is a wonderful oil to use.
Yes.
So you'll use jasmine, you'll use sandalwood.
Yes.
Sandalwood is another relaxing oil. You'll find when we go into a mandir, straight
Yes.
away we feel good. Why? Because of sandalwood. Sandalwood is really making you feel good. So sandalwood is an oil. Use it in your bath water first thing in the morning. Take the sandalwood and just put it around, your ears, or use it like a perfume. It's a wonderful oil to carry you right through the day. So these are some of the most amazing oils. Rose, of course, amazing as ever. And rose gets grief. If there's any grief, if there's anything, now in this COVID time, there's so much of
Yes.
anxiety. Use
Absolutely.
rose. Really use rose. It really helps a great deal. And of course, another thing I'd like to say is these oils have antiseptic properties, natural, they're from nature, and to help you to fight off this, to help your immune system, I say, because it's antiviral, antibacterial. Eucalyptus is a one oil you can use in your house. Use it in your pocha water right through. Because it's antiseptic. Use say bucket of water, use about 10 drops of eucalyptus. Thyme is another wonderful oil. Thyme, another 5 drops of thyme. This and thyme used, you can do your, pocha with that. Now on your desks, you can use an oil called tea tree, which again is 5 times stronger than phenol.
It's called tea tree.
Tea tree, Teatree. Tea tree, this only comes from, it's not grown in India, it comes from Australia. The other oils all come from India. Take this oil, you can use for your phones. It's a very good oil to disinfect, the place, which is really very nice. So these oils smell beautiful and they really have these properties in them. Antibacterial, antiviral, anti-aging also. Now for the anti-aging, what I highly recommend is...
I was going to come to that.
Is patchouli oil. Now I'll tell you, okay, I'll just give you the oils, and there are 2 oils I highly recommend. One is patchouli, Patchuli. Patchouli. Patchouli is one. And the other oil is frankincense. Okay, frankincense. Now, how are we going to use them? First, you'll clean your face. So clean your face nicely with a cleanser. Then take a small little bowl, or you can take a teaspoon. In fact, I think you all should make it and keep it, okay? And then just use a few drops. So what you'll do is take a big tablespoon of almond oil into that, quarter teaspoon of castor oil, mix it up, and you take you get these vitamin E capsules, break it, put that capsule in, so you have your vitamin E also. Then use 2 drops of patchouli into that, 2 drops of patchouli, and 1 drop of frankincense. Okay, and if you want, you can add jasmine, because that also has a very nice tightening effect on the skin, and to give it a better smell, 1 drop of jasmine. Mix the whole thing around, and then just apply a few drops here and give yourself a very light massage all over, and then wipe it off after a few minutes with a damp cotton and put on your moisturizer. That's a beautiful night treatment for anything, lines, wrinkles, and to firm your skin. It's a beautiful.
Is that the way that you've got your beautiful, youthful skin, which is always looking so nice, bright, refreshing? It's so lovely. Is that
I use that oil. Yes, I do use the oil. These oils are beautiful. Yeah.
Blossom, how much do you also propagate using of fruits? Do you also suggest that, given the COVID times, how is there a way that you use the oils and the fruits together at home?
Yeah.
Or
okay, now this is fantastic, and I really recommend it. In fact, I love to use that because it really has got the fresh natural minerals. Now all your fruits have vitamins and minerals in it. Now one fruit which is right now is the watermelon, which is the most amazing fruit for your skin because it's full of minerals and vitamins. So you take that fruit, a bit of it, smash it up, put milk powder, a teaspoon of milk powder into it, mix it, that's got the lactic acid, and then use the essential oil. Now, for dry skin, we will use the Roli oil, okay? If you have like aging skin, you can use patchouli, okay? And if you have oily skin, we don't use that on oily skin. Also, you can use it if you want. You will use orange maybe for an oily skin. Mix, and lemon, and you squeeze the lemon into it, okay? Mix this so you'll have watermelon, you'll have milk powder, and you'll have lemon squeeze. Mix the whole thing and apply it all over your face and neck. Keep it on for 10 to 15 minutes and then rinse it off, and you're going to have a beautiful, beautiful skin that's going to be really glowing. Next, which I highly recommend, is papaya. Take the papaya, do the same thing, but don't put the milk powder. Just take papaya and lemon and use the essential oils. Now we want to cleanse the skin, so you can use orange, or you can use lavender or tea tree into that and apply it onto your skin. Any oil, okay, with that. Next is cucumber in this weather, which is so good for the eyes and good for cooling of your skin because it's so hot. So smash the cucumber, put a little lemon into that, and just apply it all over your face. That is great. And when you get prickly heat, prickly heat is another thing. Coconut water, just get coconut water from the thing and just apply it onto your skin. Wait for 20 minutes and rinse it off. You will find that that is going to help a great deal. Any kind. Now for lightening of your dark circles and in potato. Potato is the best. Take yogurt, apply it, then take potato and just squeeze it and just apply it all over. You'll find it will help your dark circles. It will help all the line, any patches that are there. It really lightens the skin. Go into your thing. You have everything over there into your kitchen.
Considering the times that we are in, it's a great idea to pick out whatever is available.
So many things.
And use it.
Yeah, it's wonderful to use those things that are there. And also the oatmeal can be used as a scrub, just mix it up nicely with water also and just apply it. Oatmeal, you have the wheat flour, which is also excellent for you. So these are wonderful. And for the body, the best scrub, take oil, you can take almond oil, take salt, your salt that is there, and mix the whole thing. Put a few drops of essential oil into it and just scrub your whole body and then have a shower. You will find the skin is going to be really soft and radiant. And use a lotion after that.
There is Gaganjeet Kaur, who's, of course, also talking about how lovely it is to get all these tips from you. And tomatoes for tanning is what Gaganjeet is also suggesting.
Yeah. Tomatoes is very good, not only for tanning, it's good for open pores also. Excellent for open pores. Just apply it and just rinse it out. It helps a great deal.
With your kind of experience, Blossom, when we apply the oils or we apply the fruits, what are those kind of patterns that we should be, how much pressure and what is it that we should be doing for our fine lines, for our, skin which is sagging or beginning to become loose? What is it that you suggest that we do mildly on our face in terms of, putting the right kind of pressure?
Okay. Now it should be very soft pressure. I don't believe in the hard pressure because, you just have to move your whole skin. So one is when you put the oil all over, you start off with the forehead like this, one hand following the other. Okay. Then you go across like that. That is really nice. Then we press up this. Press it up because that is there. And again, now if you have, your little puffy eyes after getting up in the morning, what you do is put your fingers here and just squeeze them. You will find that that is real. Do it about 10 times. That is going to take out all the water from this thing and it will take off all this puffy eyes from there. Okay. Then do this up and down because just up and down the nose and pat up. Then here and here. Okay. Just do this. And for the eyes, I suggest only this finger and just tap around like this. Don't go like this. Do it like this. Okay. And then we do this. For the mouth, we go right around because it's one single muscle. Okay. Round and round 10 times this way, 10 times, and then do this. Now, after we have finished that, we really need to take out we need to drain that lymph. Okay. So this is where we will go. Pinch up, then here. Okay. And then go into this. This is where you drain your lymph. Then you put your hand like this, drain it this way, and then like this. Okay. So this is what, it will take you about 5 to 8 minutes to do that. And you must do few little exercises because it really works. One is for this, for underneath the chin. Okay. Put it here and then open your mouth. By pushing it up. Or you can put both hands and Okay, that's very good. The other one is put on your head like this and stretch this area, that area. Okay, that is another. And one I found which is really very, very good is, put your tongue to the upper part of your palate, without, not out, inside. Then do this thing, put this and this, and do that. See, like this.
The Brahmari, like the Brahmari we do.
Okay, now we do that. We do this Brahmari, but you're going to put it with your tongue coming there, and then so you feel this really stretching, and then relax. Do this 3 times. This is really going to help this area of yours. Now for this mouth, this is where we put this, and then just smile. And nose to mouth, you put your finger here, and then just smile. Okay, so that helps. Yeah, put this here, and then
smile.
So this, it is like we are adding weights to this area.
Okay. Okay.
So this helps that. Then here, this will help here. Okay, so these help. It's like adding weights to the thing. So they do make a big difference. Try them. It works. Very good. And it will take you just a few minutes. That's all.
Wonderful. Wonderful. These tips are going to be so useful for everybody. Coming from a veteran like you, it makes such a difference to know about these little things to do, really. Thank you so much. Blossom, I'm going to now also just move a little away from aromatherapy.
Okay.
And I know that you have been associated with the Femina Miss India, the beauty pageant, as their, as their beauty and grooming expert over the years. What was your journey? What has your journey been like with them? And who are the kind of beauty queens, so to say, or the participants who you have, trained over the years, who made a big name for themselves?
It has been really wonderful. It has been wonderful with them, honestly. It's really been lovely. Priyanka Chopra was, of course, where I did her hair and her makeup. And when I look at her today, I said, wow. And then we had Sushmita Sen and the others. It's really been one. Neha Dubey has also been there with us. And it has really been wonderful. A wonderful, journey with all of them. And going through, the main thing was seeing how they blossomed in that, time that they were, what they came in, and then what they were when they won and went through. It was really a wonderful journey, and I think it's been really very gratifying also to see all of them and how they've done and gone around. Suman is also the other one, last year's one. She was amazing and really beautiful, very beautiful girl. And the best part is those who win are not just beautiful to look at. You'll find they are beautiful, holistically beautiful, I'd say. They got a beautiful mind, a beautiful emotions. They're beautiful completely. And that is really what I must say is fantastic with them, with the Femina choosing these girls. It's very, very nice.
How nice is that? And normally your emphasis would with them would be, of course, you're their beauty and grooming expert. But what are those aspects that you really focus on when you are grooming them?
It is actually the main thing. Of course, it is looking after. Of course, we do the part of their skin and how to look after their hair and other things. But a lot goes into posture, because that is something that is very important. Posture, it goes into also a lot of the soft skills, how to answer, how to posture, how to speak, what to carry. It's a full, a completely different kind of this thing that there is there. How to, the walking, of course, they do have their specialists how to walk, but how to stand, how to smile, because they have a lot of nervousness. They have to go, they have to smile, it's giving them confidence. That is the main thing that we have. It's like a grooming for them, how to give them confidence. Because like I said, when they come in, they're like these pearls. They're beautiful, but we just have to do this polishing for them. And that is what happens. So it's just the hair, the makeup, not just that. It is their smile, it is their confidence, it's the way they hold themselves, the way they dress, the way they carry themselves, their posture, the whole thing has to go together, and that is what makes a person, I think.
So, Blossom, you did a wonderful job, a fantabulous job with all of them, whether it was Sushmita Sen, Aishwarya Rai, Priyanka, I think Neha, Dia Mirza. I know you have trained and groomed all of them, so you've done a fantastic job, really.
It's
You've been a
really
great,
been
great
a pleasure.
mentor.
They were beautiful, and they themselves were beautiful. They're beautiful inside out. That's the main thing.
So, Blossom, I'm also very curious to know that when you got into the business of beauty, you were one of the pioneers in also starting the business of spa, the day spas in India. You know, way back then, how easy was it really to start off day spas? This question I ask you is that, a couple of years ago, I was putting a blueprint together for our spas for the brand Fashion TV. And I did find that there were a couple of aspects which were tricky and challenging to address. How was it for you way back then?
It wasn't really it there was, I mean, it was a challenge because we had to get the showers, the witchy showers and the other things, and we couldn't get them in at that time, so we had to make them out for us. But it was also very exciting because when we made them, we also added the color lights, so we did the chakra lights and we did everything else with it when we got the things made. And the flotation tanks also, we had to get that done, and it was really a lot of fun to get the tanks done, to get this done. And the main thing was, which I really was emphasizing on, it has to be, of course, one was hygienic, was one thing which had to be there. The other thing, it had to be really, I used to say, you have to make the person feel like $1 million, because
Yes.
they're coming in, and that's the main thing. That was the other thing that had to be there. And treating, and this was very holistic, because there you get to treat them completely from head to toe. And also there were many aspects. There was relaxation involved, and there was the massages, different types of massages involved, different types of packs and different types of scrubs, which was really exciting. And how we went through with it on us, slowly. And but it did take, of course, like you said, it was challenging. We did two things, went wrong, then we did it again and went, did another thing. But it was, I must say, Deepali, and you must have found it also, it's very exciting. I think
Yes.
running a spa, doing things at a spa is the most exciting thing, because it's got such a wide scope, really wide. It's not just massage and pack and stuff. There is so much. You deal with their mind, you can deal with their emotions, it's really a wonderful thing. And it's something that I feel will, it's something that can grow, and it needs to grow, really
Yes,
needs to grow.
I agree. I think the business of spa needs to be, it needs to grow many folds. It needs
Oh
to be,
yes, it has to.
yes, it has to be packaged very well. And there is such a huge advantage of being able to provide some spa
Yeah,
services to people. It just needs to get, it needs to scale up in India and needs to
yeah,
be taken forward well. Yes.
that really has to go forward. That's there.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
to take it forward, that is
Correct.
something. And it will grow. It is not just a simple thing, like, it is something that is vast, really. And it can happen.
Correct, correct. Now,
Mm.
with the education of beauty, Blossom, you have seen it grow for the last so many decades. You've really seen how it has evolved over the years, and uh, I'm sure you've seen some great changes in terms of how it has, become from basically as a hobby amongst women years ago, decades ago, where you saw women coming forward and taking it up as a hobby, or maybe also developing it as a profession for them in some way or the other. But now with men coming into it and so much happening, and the rate of growth that has taken beauty to where it is today, what is the kind of evolution that you have seen over the last couple of decades till now, and what do you see? How do you see it go? Growing from here even more, because it's become
Yeah.
like a full-fledged industry.
Yeah, it was actually, it was an unorganized industry firstly, and when I was first in it and I started with it, it was only housewives really, or women who came through, mostly housewives who wanted to do this as a little profession. They wanted to do, some wanted to do it as a hobby, some wanted to do it as a little like a profession or start their own beauty salon, and that is how we had started this thing. Then slowly, as it went through, a few years later, I found more younger women coming into it. There were younger women. So we found, okay, they were college students or students who were dropped out from school. So they were into it, and they went in more into beauty instead of hair. Some did hair, some did beauty, some did spa. And later, in fact, past 15 to 20, men started coming into it. In fact, that was quite amazing. There was a big this thing. Men came into it for hair. Before, men used to come in for hair, of course. And then they came in much more. And then they also got into the beauty and the spa business, which was really fantastic. And when I saw that, I said, wow, yes, beauty is growing, because these are not just doing it for a hobby. They have to make their money out of it. And so it is growing. And they started and they went out and they did well. Then from there, now it has come on to more men. Of course, if you look at the beauty, there are women, but women are only doing work. They're working in the salons and other things. The people who are owning that business, really the beauty space, is the men now, because they found that this is business and this can really be big business. And so they've started chains of salons and other things, and this has really gone into something that is fantastic. And what I can see, it's been a little lull at the moment. In fact, it has been quite bad last year when everything got shut down. But I suppose everything got shut down, so this also, and it was a service industry, so it had to get shut down. So it is, but then it bounced back. But what I found fantastic was, when the bridal season came, there was a festive season. There they bounced back completely. So this has got a thing to bounce back, and it is going to bounce back. I can tell you that. Maybe this year, with the ups and downs, it's going to go a little slow, but it's going to bounce back, because this is a profession that you can do anywhere, and it's really can grow, because everybody want to be pampered. They need their hair done, they need their skin done, they need their body and everything. So, and makeup done when they have to get married. So this is something that's really going to grow. It's going
Yeah.
to grow, and
It,
it's
it,
going to
it
grow
may
quite a
have,
lot.
yes, it may have slowed down a little bit,
Yeah.
but beauty business is never going to go anywhere, really.
No, it can't. It can't go, and it's going to really come back. And I can tell you, when economy also goes down, the beauty business does not, because they are feeling depressed. They need the pampering. So this is something that there is. So when this COVID thing happens for that little while, we say, relax. It's going to bounce back with a big way, definitely.
Correct. So this brings
Yeah.
me to the next question, Blossom. What are the kind of measures that your salons are taking? And you are members of so many organizations and
Yeah.
the bodies related to beauty and wellness. So, what are the kind of measures? We are in bizarre times. How are you, to essentially have your customers come to you feeling fearless about the
Yeah.
environment?
Now
Salon.
this is
What are you doing about that?
this is something. Firstly, hygiene. Like I said, hygiene is the most important. Sanitization and hygiene, and we have to give our clients this confidence, and it has to be shown to them. Like, you
Yes,
have to take out new things and give it to them. You have to give them clean towels. You have to give them everything that is either. Now, throwaway, again, I'm not so keen on the throwaway, because our environment is going to go for a toss after that. So it has to be, but absolutely clean. So your towels, your sheets, and everything else have to be clean. There has to be sterilizing your combs and brushes. You have to wear your mask, and you have to wear a shield. That's one. The other thing is we make it for the client also. They have the shield right in front of them, so where they can really feel safer. The person is there, but they also feel safe. So it's for the
Yes.
manicure, the pedicure, even the facial, and even, you know, they have them in that little, they call it a cage, but it's not. It's just a thing like that where the hands can go through and do your massage with anything you want. But that is for the safety of the client. You know, we have to see that we give them that absolute safety. And apart from pampering, they have to have this absolute hygiene where everything is looked into, a blood spill. Like if they get any little, you know, cut for the person also, we have to look, just say we are cutting hair, we have a little cut, we have to see that we look into that straight away and not just go on with it.
Yes.
And we have to, if we are doing nails, we have to see that we don't, you know, even if there's a blood spill in the nail, we have to see to that straight away. So all these things, and of course we've had these wonderful certifications from Beauty and Wellness on hygiene, which is all over India for everyone. We've also had CDESCO, which is an international organization, giving them these free things. So they have given the free, and also we have the CDESCO. So there's free hygiene certification, not only just certification, but education going on how to do it. And I, you know, I told everyone that they have to do that, because it's not just for the clients, it's also for the people, for us who are working with the clients. We have to see that everything. So this is how we really, when the client comes in and they see a clean place, everything, they don't mind coming back, you know, for it. But if they see a thing that is not so clean, they don't care how expensive or how fancy, they're not going to feel safe. Safety is the most, and it's really a priority. Absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct. Because you see, it's all got to do with coming in close
Yeah,
contact with
that's
your
so true.
clients. You see, so
Yeah,
it is very, very important and essential to really be taking care of all these things. And I'm glad that you're also, there are being checks and balances to be able to
yeah,
give
yeah.
them certifications, because it is about execution. Everybody knows about sterilizing and disinfecting and
But they have
sanitizing.
to work it. You know, you have to see. Yeah,
Yes,
that is
yes,
the main thing.
absolutely. So Jagjot Singh says tons of valuable information and truly holistic, great session. Gaganjeet is saying these days men are running salons. Everyone needs pampering. Men get facials, pedicure, manicure, etc. Even waxing
Yes.
done nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Apart
so
from
true. That's so true.
it's to do with your own self-care and
Yeah,
self-love at the end of the day.
that is so true. Yeah.
So, Blossom, you have over the years had your, interest in so many of these areas of beauty and wellness, and you're actually wearing multiple hats. Which are the ones which you really enjoy the most?
I enjoy skilling, and I enjoy the beauty part of it, skilling part of it. And of course, I also like to do the blending and the manufacture of the cosmetic. That is what I go and do to make to start off with first. So these
So,
are the things. Yeah.
what were the challenges that you faced with manufacturing of cosmetics? I'm sure that must have been very
Oh, yes,
challenging.
yes. That is a very challenging, because we have to go and really see that, you know, a lot of chemistry goes in, a lot of natural chemistry goes in, a lot of things that we can use and can't use. So that is something that, you know, we do, and that I do personally, first get the whole thing going. And even now, I do go to my factory once in a week to see that it is, you know, really going and doing, because I feel that whatever you put on your face, you know, it has to be so pure that, like I say, you can eat it. But and you have to really see that it is those standards are followed. Absolutely. So this is something I do. I go even now. I mean, it's people say, "What is this?" But I say it is something I love doing, and I like to. I just go there for it.
So Colonel Kochhar, your husband, and He, of course, was instrumental with you in the
Yes, yes,
manufacturing
absolutely.
vertical of your
Everything. He was,
profession.
yeah, he was absolutely there for everything. And when I lost him, that was something that was, I couldn't get over it. But of course, then my daughter came in. My
Samantha,
daughter, yeah, Samantha, she came in. And then, of course, now my grandson has joined. So
wonderful.
now I am, it's really very, very nice. Yeah.
Wonderful. Blossom, I want you to throw some light on the fact that broadly, what were the kind of challenges that you faced, and what is it? How did you really tide over over those challenges? This is particularly for people who wish to get into the industry of beauty and wellness now. So, are there any sort of glaring challenges that you would like to mention that you had faced, which are quite evident even today, and people should be aware of them, particularly when they are keen to get into this line of work?
Yeah. Now, if you want to get, of course, beauty and wellness is a very vast line, of course. So you can get into opening your own salon, of course. And that is, you have to find a place, you have to get it registered, which is a very important thing. And then you have to train, keep on training your staff, yourself and your staff. The one thing I find that really, when anyone who wants to get in, is education, and education right through. You can't stop, because this line is, you're changing all the time, so you have to keep yourself abreast and with it. That is something that there is. The other thing, of course, the what I know I didn't face it, because I was always training my people, and we had just people who came in from there into my thing. But I know a lot of other friends of ours who did have it, was the staff, that they go away to somewhere else, when somebody else takes them,
Yes,
they have
yes,
higher. So that is one big thing that they face. Of course, if they can educate them and keep them, that is the main thing. And all these people, they need to be educated, and you'll find when they know they can learn things and keep growing, they're going to keep on staying. So that is the one, that is one that there was. The other, of course, is, you got to, the thing that I learned is, finance is something that you have to learn. You can't just be a creative person and leave it. You have to do your business also. So
yes.
finance is something that has to go hand in hand with the business. And like I've seen, some people are very good at hair, but no finance, and then they have faced the problems. So you have to have the finance. You have to go into your business, learn about it, and you have to learn from the grassroots and go on with it. You will find that it really, then works for you. So these are two of the things that was there. These are the two. And otherwise, I think marketing is, you have to market.
Very
And
important.
marketing, very important, because, and marketing in such a way that don't spend so much. You just market through your social media, market. You have to really market yourself. Like I always tell them, you are your best advertisement. I tell my students and anyone, you are your best advertisement. You want
Sure.
to do hair, you have to see that you put some color and cut it in certain way. You want to do your skin, see that you keep your skin. So you are your best advertisement. And networking, you have to do networking, because without networking, really, you can't, get anything done. So these are the things that,
Absolutely.
really help people, and that would help them to keep going on with this.
You started with beauty as a hobby and so
Yeah.
passionate about it, and you created an empire out of it, Blossom. And of course, you've had your learning curve, and you've gone through all this. What were those three very strong mantras in your life that you followed to be able to overcome all your challenges and be where you are in your life? I'm
Okay.
not talking only in terms of business, but in terms of your own characteristics, your own traits.
Now, one thing was that I believe this very much. Do whatever you want done to you, you please do it to them. Like if anything was going to say, I'll always say, would I like it done to me first? And then I would. That was one. The other thing that I believe in, you've got to have passion. You've got
Yes.
to be positive and have passion. In fact, this comes first. You have to have a passion for what you're doing. You have to be positive, never be negative. Because if you're positive, you can reach anywhere, and if you have this passion, that is something that has to be there. Always do this and treat your client and anyone like $1 million. They are very, very important people, whoever they are. And they are always important people because you, I mean, you are not so important. They've made it, if they made you who you are, they are the important person, not, this. So this is something, like I always say, you have to treat them like $1 million. You have to treat them that they matter. You have to treat them that you care. And believe it or not, you'll you'll have no problem in life. Because I think this is something that people want also. People want to be respected, loved, cared, and treated well. That's really what they want.
That's beautifully said, Blossom, because in the service industry, that's how you need to let your clients feel. They
Yeah,
really need to feel like $1 million client.
dollars. That's
So
true.
beautifully said. Blossom, that brings me to the end of this session. It has been such a wonderful session to have this conversation with you. You responded to all my questions so patiently and with such great insights. Thank you very much. And you've made us all, realize how important it is to take our beauty and wellness seriously and look after ourselves, and not only externally, but as much internally.
Thank you, Dipali. It has been the most wonderful thing talking to you. Really, I loved every moment of it. It was so wonderful. So
Thank you so
thank
much,
you
Blossom.
so
You have
much.
you're so gracious. You're so loving and charming. I've always been so fond of you and respected you so much. Thank you so much for being with
Same
me, and
here.
I hope to
Thank
see you sometime soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye, 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 bye. Where did we put it?
So, to the viewers, if you need to know more about Mrs. Blossom Kochhar and everything about holistic beauty in aromatherapy and the other aspects of beauty and wellness, please reach out to her social media handles, to her website, to her Insta, to her YouTube pages, all of them, and get all your questions answered. And keep watching 10 News. Keep watch out on the announcements that I will be making with my personalities in the coming weeks and coming months. So do follow us on 10 News and my personal social media handles. So thank you for being with us, and I will see you very soon. Thank you and bye-bye.